Hello everyone, it's time we talk about the lovely magical girl, that being Ria Ami. So let's get started with the video, shall we? Ria Ami is a 17-year-old magical girl. She is 170 centimeters in height, her eyes are blue, and her hair is blonde. Ria comes from Mizuno Ward in Kamihama City. Her soul gem is a dark pink 4-pointed star with a single ring on its upper left, located beneath a ribbon at her throat. Her weapon is a bow and arrow, and at this time, she has no confirmed Doppel. Her relatives are not that well known. She attends Mizuno School in the 11th grade. Her wish to be a magical girl was to become a natural beautiful girl. Turn me into a natural beautiful girl. Her magical girl element is the dark element, and her ability is hiding. Makes certain things invisible. A magical girl who moonlights as a fashion model, often dubbed one of Kamihama's foremost beauties. She can't stand the thought of not having the spotlight, so she always puts herself at the front of everything she's involved in. She acts confident, but from a bystander's perspective, she is little incompetent. The story begins with a documentary on Ria. The narrator asks if it's hard being such a natural beauty that the crowds literally part before her. Ria responds that has always been that way for her since she was young, so she has no idea the level of her popularity, but it does have its challenges despite the constant attention she gets. This only encourages Ria to be more beautiful. Not just physically, but as a person. The narrator knows she is as humble as she is graceful, and Ria turns to head to school. Manaka Kurumi calls her attention and tells her there is something about her face. Ria becomes worried as she flashes back to when she first made a contract with Kyubey. Ria doesn't believe in what is happening, and after much debate, she wishes to become a natural beauty. Back in the present, Manaka says if Ria is only okay since her face was so pale. She asks if she wouldn't rather reschedule the food testing for some other time, but Rena's stomach growls as she agrees to go to the food testing after all. Manaka chuckles at the sound of her healthy appetite. At Walnuts, Manaka thanks Ria for her time. Ria remembers when she first met Manaka, who was mesmerized by her natural beauty and became inspired to make an amazing meal for her. Manaka corrects Ria's tip down memory lane by reminding her that Ria has been ready to collapse from hunger after following a dangerous fad diet. Prompting Manaka to come to her rescue. Manaka tries out the new menu item and finds it to be incredibly delicious. Manaka beams with pride as she begs about becoming the best chef in the world one day. Ria wonders if she could ever be so absolute best at something. The way Manaka is, she chows down on her favorite meal, a rice omelet. Unlike Manaka, who worked hard at her talent, Ria had never stood a chance at being the absolute best. Even before her wish, although she wasn't ugly, she wasn't the most beautiful ever. Rina asks Manaka to describe the rice omelet from the rival restaurant across the street. Manaka calls it's just okay, and mediocre and medley. Rina agrees with the description as it applies to herself before she contracted. Manaka believes that hard with work and perseverance can make a difference, but inside, Rina knows that the head chef of the restaurant is trying his best. She remembers trying her best to be beautiful when she would style her hair and change her makeup, but despite her best efforts, she would never be anywhere near the top. She believes that there are some things that can never be overcome, no matter how hard you work for it. Outside the restaurant, a small mob of Rina's followers began to a mess. Manaka pities Rina that she has to deal with so much attention, but when she shares that Rina is used to the attention since she was a kid, Rina awkwardly agrees because she wished it to be a natural beauty. Her wish made it so that everything was as tough she had being beautiful since the day she was born. The wish had rewritten her past as well as her present. The documentary continues once more as the narrator compares Rina's beauty to a scaffold works of Michelangelo, as the usual crowd of follower mobs each other for Rina's attention. A man is able to push in the way past the crowd to talk to Rina. He's the chef editor of Vanity Fine, the famous magazine. Rina is overthrilled to be making a huge debut, but pretends to be swamped with other offers. She arranges to call the editor back when she has more time as school is about to begin. Of course, Rina also worked diligently to fulfill her contract as a magical girl. She took her responsibilities seriously, sometimes too seriously for the other girls who found her giving orders like a general in battle at a bit of much times. Rina mentally praises herself for her graceful fighting style just as she relies on herself to deliver the final blow. But Tsuruno Yuri jumps in and finishes off the wish herself. Konomi Haruna and Manaka praises Shuna's fighting ability, but Rina is upset that Tsuruno has stolen the spotlight from her final attack. Manaka doesn't see what the big deal is, as long as the wish is defeated. Rina tries to explain that the final blow is a big final, and she turns to Tsuruno to scold her for jumping in after Rina declared out that she was going to land the finishing blow. Rina continues to work herself up until Manaka offers her an extra large serving of rice omelet to cool her down. Another time, Rina bumps into Konomi once more. This time, she's hunting witches with Manaka and Kako Natsume. Kako praises her beauty, but both Konomi and Kako think that Rina is more than a little weird. Rina boasts that people can't help complaining her and urges Kako to continue her praise. Manaka calls her out on her narcissism and reminds her that they need to dispatch the witch they found. Rina is pleased that she found a docile group that will follow her orders in battle. The girls fight off the witch, and Rina yells out a cheesy one-liner as she attempts to land the killing blow. But the witch survives the attack as Manaka asks Rina about her weak special attack. Rina scoffs and realizes to fight the witch for real, this time as Yachio Nanami appears. Rina recognizes her insanity as a model for Vanity Fine. Having grown up admiring her, she tells the others that she recognizes Yachio as a model for the magazine that is doing a big article on her. The girls are amazed at Yachio's beauty, which causes Rina to become a bit jealous, and remind them she's in charge of the attack on the witch. Rina attempts for her special move once more, but to no effect. Yachio then rushes in and lands the smuggling blow on the witch, calling out the others to follow up with the attack. Rina is taken aback but at the sudden change in leadership as Yashio finishes the witch off for good. Yashio is thankful no one is injured, and she leaves. But Rina is so upset with Yashio that she accidentally transmits her anger throughout thoughts of the others via telepathy. The documentary that Rina imagines continues. As she continues to pretend they are filming a documentary about her, and on her way to school, she talks about how her favorite food is Japanese food, and how she'll often help her mother praise the snow peas in their dishes. Minaka pipes in about how the earliest way to shell them is to put them from the end of the opposite to stream. Rina realizes she has been preparing them the wrong way this whole time, and she turns to find Minaka standing beside her. Minaka had pulled Rina back into the real world when she saw her fascination and mumbling to her. She asks if Rina's help is defending a witch is found. It turns out that this witch showed up in the restaurant yesterday, but for some reason, it didn't trigger her soul gem. Rina is reluctant to help, but Minaka tells her she won't be able to enjoy the secret menu item at her restaurant if she doesn't help, which just so happens to be an extra large order of rice omelet. Rina calls it Bardi, but Minaka soothes her by telling Rina she knows she would never turn down a person in need since she is a beautiful on the inside as well as the outside. Rina relents and agrees to help with the patrol. After searching for some time, the girls find nothing. Minaka thanks her as they decide to head back to the restaurant. Rina asks her for onion garden soup to go with the rice omelet, and Minaka can't believe her lack of manners. As the two bicker, they suddenly find themselves in the witch's lab with. The two girls quickly transform, and they take on the witch. As they are fighting, Ryachio appears once more and is surprised to find the two of them already here. Rina has the plan and decides to make the witch battle a consistent to see who really holds the spotlight. Yachio doesn't know what she's going on about as Rina jumps in headfirst against the witch. Yachio and Minaka can only stand and watch from the sideline as Rina attacks while sporting cheesy one-liners and praising herself mentally. She unleashes the Velospina attack on the witch, believing it defeated, but the witch appears once more and attacks the girls. Yachiro calls out for her to watch out as Yachiro delivers the killing blow. Back outside, Rina is upset that Yachiro took the spotlight from her when she delivered the final hit. Minaka tells Rina she should be thanking Yachiro for helping them with the top situation instead of complaining. Rina turns and formally declares Yachiro to be her official rival. Yachiro doesn't know what she's going on about as Minaka dies of embarrassment. Poor Minaka. At the mall, Rina makes Minaka to tag along with her as a bodyguard while she goes to buy a magazine. She even is wearing sunglasses to disguise herself since she doesn't want to be seen buying a magazine that has her article in it. Minaka thinks she's already does stuff that's more embarrassing than that. Instead, the magazine, there's a single page with Rina's photo on it. As Minaka flips through the magazine, she finds that there are 8-page articles on Yachito wearing different outfits. Rina gets upset, believing that Yachito did it on purpose to show her up in her magazine debut. She becomes so upset, she tears the magazine in half, prompting the clerk to charge her for it. Rina's ability isn't quite known from its name as hiding, and what can it do by hiding certain objects means that Rina can hide stuff, but it's not really known what she can hide. She could at least hide anything she needs to hide or hide herself. Even with being a now beautiful Natural girl. For this reason, this ability should be some use to her in many different ways. Rina's first name means jasmine in love respectfully, while her last name Ami means corner in look respectfully. Fact 1. Her illustrator is Nardak. Fact 2. Rina's Ami's voice comes from Rika Tachibana, who you may know for Korira Miyamochi in Princess Connect Redrive, the African wild dog in Kimono Friends, Ina Benchoya in L'Assault Lily Bouquet. For games, she is Plume and Gravel in Arknights and also in Drama CD of Saint Seiya Saint Show in Ruin No 8. And that was the Magic Girl of Beauty, Ria Ami. Next time, we'll be talking about Kako Natsume, the Magical Girl Bookworm. See you next time.